Hallo aus Galway. Bei euch zu Hause sind 30 Grad, hier sind 8, aber das macht ja gar nichts. Passt so ein bisschen zu Irland. Aber wir haben hier wunderschönes Meer, grüne Wiesen, eine ganz süße Stadt, bisschen dunkle Wolken. Ich werde mal sehen, dass ich zur Konferenz komme. Hier findet das Mojo-Fest statt, einmal im Jahr. Das ist so weltweit die größte Konferenz für Mobile Reporting. Ich bin ziemlich aufgeregt, weil hier wirklich die ganzen Pioniere zusammenkommen. Also sowohl was hochdotierte Kinofilme nur mit dem Handy gedreht angeht, als auch natürlich viele Leute, die versuchen in den Fernsehstationen das zu etablieren. Und natürlich auch ganz viel Social Media. Es geht viel um Linearität, Nonlinearität. Wie sieht die Zukunft aus? Aber im Prinzip alles mit dem Schwerpunkt Mobile Reporting. Ich freue mich und versuche mal ein paar Leute für euch zu interviewen.
And to be honest with you, in RTE, when we introduced mobile journalism, we were often asked, oh, surely the audience are upset that the quality is not good enough. The audience didn't know it was shot in a phone. We never put a strap up to say made on mobile. It was another piece of news. It was another piece of content. And frankly, they don't care. It's the story that counts. So the opportunity for me, and what used to frustrate me when I worked in a broadcaster, was I kind of felt that the daily news schedule, which used to be shoehorned into an hour and divided up into slots of 1 minute 30 per story, that model is dying. It's nearly dead because the audience aren't watching the content anymore, but we're still spending millions trying to make it for that format, when in fact we're missing loads of local stories, we're missing loads of niche storytelling, we're not serving as broad an audience as we possibly could. Where I just beg the question, what if we didn't buy, say, 20 cameras, what if we just bought 18 and saved €140,000, but use that €140,000 to buy loads of mobile journalism equipment? What would happen? And my hypothesis was, rather than having 20 cameramen, we would now have 20 cameramen, 2 with older cameras, but we would now have probably another 60 people in the field capable of shooting content, fully capable of broadcast, but not really worried about broadcast because it's designed for digital first.
It's not been as easy as we would like. There are a number of people at the BBC who have been resistant to it, sometimes camera crews in particular, but we tell them we're not there to take away your jobs. And yes, there are many people at the BBC who have their phones that don't use it very often, but the policy is to try to get people to at least know how to use it when they need to use it. There have been many occasions where we have seen stories happen where we don't have a camera crew immediately on site, but we have BBC journalists who have phones on site. So for example, only a month or two ago in Paris at the Notre Dame Cathedral fire, one of our most senior correspondents was on holiday in Paris, but he had his phone, he had the BBC apps on his phone, he did reporting, he recorded a piece to camera, he did some interviews, and that became a story that was shown on the main BBC News programme later that day.
The primary difficulty, I think, was that the existing infrastructure is built for television. It is built for linear platforms, whereas what we're talking about is using mobile technology, a different kind of CMS. A lot of what we do relies on workflows and workarounds. The idea that you have to work out how to make this work within your existing newsroom. And that only happens because you work at it and you try different things. And then, so there's an infrastructure problem. And then I suppose you have to win hearts and minds. You have to persuade your colleagues that yes, you can produce really good content with just a mobile phone. You don't necessarily need a €15,000 camera to produce good, compelling content. So you have to win hearts and minds and persuade your colleagues that this is worth going with. But I think all newsrooms face challenges, and we're all having to reinvent how we do what we do. This is not necessarily the answer to all of that, but it's part of the answer. This is part of the solution, I think. We've now honed this, we've got good at it, we're delivering regularly with it, we've worked out a lot of the problems, we're keen to evolve it further. So I think you can talk about problems all the time and challenges, but I do prefer to talk about opportunities.
Wir sind nicht so weit, wie wir gerne wären, was das Mojotum angeht, weil
es einfach an den Leuten und auch an der Technik fehlt. Das heißt, die Technik ist da, aber das Material, was gedreht wird, schnell in den Sender und auf den Sender zu bringen, also und zwar nicht für Online oder Social Media, sondern wirklich ins aktuelle Programm, da sind wir noch ein ganzes Stück weit weg von dem, wo wir eigentlich hinwollen. Und das Schöne ist ja, so ein Handy hat jeder in der Hand. Es ist immer dabei, nicht nur in Breaking-News-Situationen, auch wenn ein schönes Tulpenfeld irgendwo einem Reporter auffällt und dann ist das einfach eine kleine schöne Matz, dann könnte man das Ding sofort rausdrehen, weil ja selten ein Kamerateam genau dort ist, wo man es gerade braucht. Und das Handy praktisch dann zu einem verlängerten Handarm zu machen für die Reporter, die wir haben, das ist das Langfristziel. Und das Kurzfristziel ist einfach auch als Redaktionsleiter zu verstehen, was macht das Ding eigentlich? Und ich kann ja schlecht Menschen Dinge an die Hand geben und sagen, macht jetzt mal, ohne dass ich sie vorher selber verstehe. Und auch dafür haben mir die 2 Tage hier viel gebracht.